BIP of Bizarre Interest Productions, and it's time to talk about, well, what the upcoming plans for videos are for August, because this one's going to be a month where consistent uploads may not be impossible, but it ultimately depends on both how I handle my mental state and you all. Let's talk. All right, regarding shorts, ideally, I would like to get more shorts out more consistently, but I have noticed based on the analytics, they're better for me to post in the night because only a few between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. have actually resulted in people being able to view them. Granted, that's because I know a fair bit that my audience works throughout the morning, which is something I'm going to have to be dealing with at the end of the month. So in August, I'm going to try to aim to have at least one short done at least once a day, because doing too much in one day prevents me from working on the videos. And if they're so short and easy to make, depending on the topic, at this point, I should just ask myself, like, why not just do it first and get it over with? Well, usually when I had work in the way, one of the problems was I was trying to get focused on getting the video recorded and a script written so that I could record it and then make the edits during the rest of the day. Like, at my best consistency, I remember when I had started being more active with this channel in February and March, that I would have the script either done or finish the script before I left due to recording, and then make the edits and then upload them. It's tricky to get done, and usually I would have to spend long nights just to get half of that done and then work on the other half, which you'd think would be easier, but again, summer heat can be very inconsistent with how I can manage it. So in terms of the videos I managed to get done in July, the only 3 that we missed so far are the problems with the Sakura versus Hinata rivalry, Shonen Jump versus Capcom Heroines, and the Tiny Chef Show. I am working my butt off with the script for the Tiny Chef Show, but there's so much information and research that I need to do for it, and even I'm not sure how that video is going to turn out, because at this point, I can just talk about the cancellation and all the details we could have had there, and that would just be an entire video in and of itself. And then I can talk about the 150 plus Nickelodeon shows that got canceled. So I'm debating about how I should approach it, because when I last did the poll, you guys wanted me to talk about both in the same video. So I'm going to have to try to find my way to navigate that. Then again, the last time I made a Nickelodeon related video, well, I think only about 2 or 3 of you guys saw it. So no, this time I'm going to post it at 6 p.m. instead of 3 p.m. whenever it's done. It's just going to be tricky because the last time I had to make like 4 videos ahead of time, so I would have extra time to work on that one. This time I would have to really try to work ahead. But I do want to get that video out before at least halfway through August. As for the Sakura versus Hinata rivalry, I feel like I should aim for that between the week Boruto tends to get popular for timing synergy, because I'm almost never able to finish that script no matter how many times I want to whenever I plan on working on it. As for Shonen Jump versus Capcom Heroines, the roster is done, but like the Nickelodeon versus Capcom video, the issues working on that video's roster come down to just me making sure the script isn't big enough for me to talk about in less than 30 minutes. Since I'm not going to go into as much detail as I did with the Nickelodeon versus Capcom video, and while the Digimon video that I had with the roster was something I had worked on a long time ago, it was more of so figuring out what the roster was going to be than the script. And while I managed to get that one done in a day, given how it took me 2 days to get that one recorded, this one might also take me a while, depending on when I decide to start it. So I guess the question for me is, well, for you guys as well, what am I going to talk about this month? Well, that's the thing I also wanted to talk to you guys about. It's Power Month. Well, originally it was supposed to be. See, I am a fan of Tokusatsu, Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, Power Rangers to an extent, and even when Power Rangers was airing, I think around 2023, they started doing this thing called Power Month, where because Power Rangers Day was celebrated on August 28th, everyone kind of just figured, why don't we just celebrate Power Rangers for all of August? And the funny thing is, not only do I have a list of Beyblade videos I still want to make, I also have a list of Tokusatsu videos I should have made, and a few which you have seen, but also plan to make. But I can't keep switching between 2 different topics because I know how you guys resonate. If I talk about one topic you guys are going to want me to talk about for the rest of the week, you guys are going to more focus on that. And if I switch, you guys are going to be likely to watch one content more than the other. I know my audience. I know how some of you guys operates. Plus, I don't know if the rest of the Tokusatsu community is even going to engage with it. So my question becomes, do I just jump into making Toku content for a celebration that almost no one's going to participate in? Or do I focus on Beyblade, since I do like it as well and I want to talk more about it, and finally just start working on all the videos that I have planned? Or I could just split it between the first half and the second half of the month, and that's the thing. I'm really not sure what to do. So I want you guys to tell me, what do you guys want me to do? Talk about both when I want, or only talk about one? I mean, I was thinking I could try to do 2 videos in one day, and that's proven that that's not necessarily going to be easy for me. Again, the heat is going to die down in August, so it might be more feasible for my mental health, but I'm not quite sure. Then again, there's also something else I need to consider now, which I know Gabriel's talked about before. YouTube has allegedly planned on starting to use AI to determine how old you are and feed you age-appropriate content. So be prepared to be judged based on what you watch. And from what I found, this user classification has been running in some identified markets for an unspecified period. But over the next few weeks, YouTube began to roll out machine learning to a small set of users in the US to estimate their age so that teens are treated as teens and adults as adults. The system allows it to assume a user's age and then use that signal, regardless of the birthday in the account, to deliver our age-appropriate product experiences and protections. Now, this has the possibility of YouTuber bots deciding to take off disabling personalized ads, adding safeguarding to recommendations, including limited repetitive reviews of some kinds of content. But I'm really not sure how this is going to affect me, and given how much pushback this will cause, I'm really not sure how to proceed, but at this rate, I just have to focus on just making the videos and either hope it goes away or causes enough problems that YouTube changes their mind, but I'm not going to quit just yet. There have been people talking about how any sort of entertainment from video games to anime can end up getting affected, including my channel, since I do talk about a lot of pop culture. Well, at least the 7 ones that I mostly focus on. But yeah, given how many people talk about that, like, the only way that you're going to be able to avoid it is by giving in your personal ID and stuff. And given that I keep myself anonymous for my own safety, I wouldn't want you guys to go through that or for me to go through that just for the sake of the channel. I guess I would be able to pivot to talking about different types of topics that would appeal to YouTube's quote-unquote sensibilities. But that would be much harder for me, though I could definitely try a way to pull it off or just try to market my content to seem like it's more adult or something. But I'm not sure what to do from there. At this point, I'm just rambling and spitballing, though. Sometimes we do have to worry about the worst case scenario, but I feel like with how the risks are not worth it, I think we'll be fine, but we just have to wait and see. So basically expect Beyblade content, Toku content, maybe some more Digimon content, definitely Yu-Gi-Oh content. Okay, well, I might take a break from the Yu-Gi-Oh content. We've talked about it enough. Marvel Tokon content, because stuff got their release. Check out my shorts for that. And it looks like my Beyblade fans are also starving for content, and I need to feed you guys and my own ego. And you know what? Sure, let's see what happens. Anything else I could say? Well, I guess my own weakness is my own mental health, because as long as I get the videos out in a timely manner, some of you guys are going to show up and deliver. And while some of you are here for certain things and just me overall, I do want to say thank you. Like, doing YouTube has been a huge gamble for me, and all the time I have with and without work plays a factor, and it's mostly thanks to you guys I've been able to make it this far. Once I get to 500 followers, I feel like I will be able to get monetized eventually within like 3 months or something, but I always want to make sure I'm doing my part to evolve. For example, I finally figured out how to fix the aspect ratio on my videos, which is freaking crazy because I thought I didn't have this problem when I started out, but now I'm looking and realizing, holy crap, this has been horrible. So I've been making a better effort to fix those mistakes, but if I slip up, let me know. Please. I am going to try to do 2 videos in a day, but because especially when I talk about Beyblade or some of the more complicated videos, there's a lot of detailed information I need to consider when I write my scripts, especially when I'm debunking misinformation, something everyone knows I actively try to avoid. So that's why some videos end up becoming much larger than I expected. So I'm going to fight whatever issues I have to get there. Like, at the time I'm recording this, I have a Kamen Rider video that wasn't necessarily planned, but I figured it'd be a fun short one. That video has taken me almost 24 hours to complete. And I'm pretty sure another video that I was working on also ended up taking long. Let me just double check and see which one that was. So it was the workplace competition arc video. Yeah, I thought that one was going to be about like 5 minutes, but that one ended up being a little bit longer. I thought doing the Yoko and Beyblade X video wasn't going to take me long, but then I ended up having to talk a lot about the voice acting roles and certain conditions, and also researching and then finding the actor who does all the female voices pretty well. So yeah, sometimes when it comes to making these videos, it's a lot more complicated than some people think. But thanks for watching, and thanks for all the support. I'll continue trying my best, and BIP of Bizarre Interest Productions, signing off.